Hi everybody, and my name is Melissa and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my absolute favorite books that I read in 2018. Now I started off with a list of 174 books at least. Maybe it's 175 by now, I'm not really sure. But basically, I read a lot of books this year. There was only a couple that I really found really stuck with me, really made an impact, and are books that I either want to continue on with the rest of the series or, actually I'm pretty sure, no, I think that the majority of them are series that I still need to finish. But that being said, here is my favorite books of 2018. First book that I'm going to be talking about today is actually Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shannon McGuire. This book is the second book in the Every Hearted Doorway. If you haven't heard of this book, they're very short, very easy to read. It's about children who have gone to these different worlds and they come back and they are trying to readjust to the situation that they're in. A lot of these children find that they want to go back to these worlds because the one that they originally were born into just didn't fit them. So this story right here follows Nancy, who comes back from the world that she has been to, and follows the adventure after she goes to the school so she can start readjusting. The parents send them there because they don't know what else to do. The children want to go back to the worlds that they were from or living in, and it just kind of has a great adventure from there. The second book, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, is actually my favorite. I found it a lot more darker than the first one. It was such a great story. There's kind of a lot of, little life lessons that are thrown into them. And these books really pack a punch for how short they really are. So if you're looking for a really quick read, something to kind of keep you entertained for a little while, these books right here are perfect. The second book that I'm going to be talking about is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is a beautiful, beautifully written book. It's a young adult novel, duet. The second one just came out. I have yet to read it. But this book follows Laszlo Strange, who's a junior librarian. He has spent his whole life studying about this one city called Weep. Weep has been forgotten. No one knows the true name of the city. No one knows anything about it. But Laszlo searches and just spends his time studying the city, trying to find out as much as he can. One day, this troop of people come into his town who have been going around gathering people to help out the city of Weep. And so from there, he goes on this journey, goes to the city, and adventure happens from there. But I listened to this on Audible as well as physically reading it while I annotated it, and I really think that brought the story to life. I was able to slow it down a little bit more. I was able to savor the story and really get a good understanding of it. I really liked the narrator who did it, so I think if you like audiobooks, this is definitely one way to do it. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I hope I said that right. This is a Chinese-inspired fantasy story that follows a war orphan named Ren. She lives with her adoptive family. They are very into the crime syndicate, obviously deal with opium and different things like that. This is a story about her who, when she tries to get out of this situation that she's in, there's an empire-wide test called the Kiju. I think I pronounced that incorrectly, most likely. But anyways, this test sorts these people into different academies. She's trying to go to the Singard Academy, and if she gets into there, it will be completely paid for. It is the top academy to go to. It's where all the war generals, things like that, where they go. The reason why I like this book so much is it has one of my favorite, tropes is the magic school. And also, it's actually way darker than I thought it would be. It was, I believe, a debut novel, and I cannot wait till the second one comes out because I just flew through this book. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is a gorgeous UK edition that I just had to have. I am currently on the third book, The Hero of Ages, and I also read this one right here, The Well of Ascension. So, oh my gosh, what to say about this book? It is a very widely known modern fantasy trilogy, which now has a second trilogy associated to this, but I'll be talking about this one right here. In this world is where the bad guy won, and this Lord Ruler has ruled over for 1,000 years. It's about this group of criminals that come together so that way they can fight the bad guy and win. It follows a couple characters. One is Vin, and she is a street urchin. She's lived a very difficult life, very criminal. She has these special talents. She's not really quite sure, you know, what they are. And then she runs into Kelsier, who is this great criminal, I guess, mastermind. And she's recruited into this group. And is she going to be the one to help save the day in the end? So if you're looking for something that has a very unique magic system, this is definitely it, because I've never seen anything like it. Instead of just, you know, waving a wand or something like that, in this magic system, people ingest metals, and from there they're able to use those powers. So most people are mistings, where they only are able to use one. There are mistborn, which are very rare, and those people are able to use all of those metals. So it's either one or all of them. And this book is very good. The action scenes are extremely well written, and also just a really great book. So the next top favorite of 2018 was A Gathering of Shadows, which is the second book in, what would this be? A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy. So to avoid any spoilers, oh, I forgot to mention, this is by V.E. Schwab, another very popular author. I'm sure you can find plenty of reviews on these books, but to kind of sum it up, this story is about a magician named Kel. Kel is able to travel between these different parallel Londons. There are 4 of them. There's black, gray, white, and red, and each one has a varying degree of magic. Black London has completely disappeared, and Kel actually works for the king and is kind of like this liaison between the different kings of the different Londons. Story begins when he ends up coming across something he shouldn't and smuggles it to his own London or a different London, and oh my goodness, such crazy things happen from there. I didn't like the first one as much as I liked the second. The reason why, I don't really want to like spoil anything, but there actually is a type of magic tournament in this one, which I found very, very interesting. There were some issues with this trilogy. There was very little character development, especially for some of the main characters that are well known and truly loved, and they kind of stayed stagnant. Not too much really happened, and I did find after beginning to read Vicious, one of her other books, a lot of the same phrases were used in that one, and it was just kind of off-putting because I had immediately set this down and began that other book, and I was just like, it didn't seem that original with those same phrases being used. So I kind of set that book down for a second, but that being said, I still really, really enjoyed the second book. It is one of my favorite out of the trilogy, and highly recommend you picking this up and giving it a try. The final book that I am going to be talking about is The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. This is the first book in the Lightbringer trilogy. There's definitely more than 3. This is the first book in the Lightbringer series, and I really enjoyed it. This is a multi-perspective fantasy series which has a unique magic system where these people are able to take the colors around them, harness it, and create it into this tangible substance around them. So different colors have different strengths, and not everyone can harness every single color. There's only one person that is able to do that, and that is the Prism. So it follows Gavin, who is the Prism at this time, and he finds out he has a son. Also, there's so many different storylines that are going on through this book, and that's just one of them. As well as there's this self-made king, and he is trying to take over, and there's battles, and there's magic, and it was so much fun to read. I really, really enjoyed this book. I flew through it, even though, it's a massive one, but I'm really excited to pick up the next couple books. I have the second and the third one, and I'm really excited to you know, learn more about these characters and this world. It was a very good book. I do know that there are a lot of people that don't like it. They see like that it's very problematic. But if you're reading to read for the enjoyment, it's a very good book. I really encourage you to try it out if you're looking for one. I did just see that on his Twitter, he said that he has the 5th book just sent out to his editor, so hopefully not too long to wait, and that means I need to catch up with the rest of the books. All right, so there you have it. These are the best books that I read in 2018. I know I read a lot of books, and obviously all of these favorites are fantasy. I didn't really intend for that to happen, but there were a lot of books that I read on my Kindle Unlimited that, you know, just were reading fluff, you know, books and not really worth mentioning to kind of get out there. These are definitely very, very popular books that I'm sure many have seen over, you know, YouTube, and there's different, what do you say, book reviews on them and opinions on them. But that being said, these are my favorite. I have a lot more books to get to in 2019. My to-be read list just keeps growing, and can't wait to see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.